Do not go into 2026 strategic planning without asking this one question. Will AI show my business in its answers, or will it show my competitors? This is an area that we typically maybe overlook in our 2026 planning because we are satisfied with the way our main platform, which is our website, our main marketing platform, is performing, right? It's been good enough. Sure, it doesn't connect to all of our other business platforms, but who goes to it anyway? We don't get any leads from our website. I mean, I tell you, I hear this from clients every single day. And the reason that I hear this is because the website has really been seen as a secondary, non essential platform for them. A lot of times they build this business, they build it up to $1-2 million in revenue, and they got there by really great referral marketing, and really great customers that just love them. And so they've been able to do a lot with their own personal networks. But what that's done for many business leaders, and I'm talking about whether you're a $2 million business or you are a multi-billion-dollar business, same leaders are still not putting the attention that they need on their websites because they haven't seen it really allow lead generation in the way that they believe or even thought possible could happen. Now, what is happening is that we are creating every day, we are creating stale, static platforms that do nothing. They are full of information that just continues to scroll and scroll and scroll. And guess what? It's all about the business. It's not really about the client or the potential client that they're looking to attract. It's outdated information. You have pictures of former employees that have long gone months ago. And this platform isn't doing anything. It's not a representation of your dynamic and living organization. But because there's not really anyone there manning this platform, we are risking big, huge things when it comes to what marketing is looking like in 2026. So I want you to stop. I want you to really think about, okay, what resources or what time have we allotted in our 2026 planning to really talk about our marketing strategy, specifically in the landscape of AI, artificial intelligence. There are billions of dollars being invested into AI engines every single day. It is not going anywhere. Over 75% of Americans are using AI, and they've used it in the last 6 months, and 1 out of 3 Americans is using it daily. Your customer, even though you may be thinking, oh, I don't really use AI that much, I guarantee you your customers are. And because there is a big shift in moving from Google being the source of all of our research and answers to AI, and the way that we interact with AI is completely different than the way that we act with Google, this is where the seismic shift is happening and why you as a leader have to understand this. So I bet you're going into your strategic planning and you're going to do a SWOT analysis, right? You're going to look at what is on the horizon as possible risks. And so when we think about our weaknesses, when we think about threats, and even when we think about opportunities, because there are things that we are not doing now that even our competitors can see as opportunities and take over that opportunity gap. It is hands down artificial intelligence for your business. Now, AI functions differently than the way people search on Google. AI is not only going to look for your website as the main anchor, right? The main source of information that needs to be plain English. It needs to be easily summarized. It has to have things like FAQ blocks so that way it can pull it and present it to the person that is researching this on their AI engine. But on the back end, there has to be very specific schema markup, meaning on the back end, your pages need to be easily categorized as FAQ sections, as about pages, as service pages. Now, if you haven't done any SEO work in a while, if you've never done SEO work because you didn't think that you need it, well, SEO was the foundation, is the foundation for many websites. And all of that schema markup that you may not have, which basically in a nutshell means AI doesn't read your website from the front end, human beings do. AI is going to read it from the back end, and it's going to look for that schema to tell it what it's actually looking at. If you don't have those things, and if you don't have easily pullable summaries to put on AI, then your website is going to be invisible. Now, again, you may be thinking, well, our website really hasn't been a source of lead generation in the past. With the way people are moving away from going to Google, what they're saying is that in the next 3 years, 95% of people are going to completely move away from Google and look at AI for all of their research. And that means that even some of the traffic that you had for your website today is going to drop. Clicks are going to drop because most people are going to be looking and doing all the research on an AI engine and then eventually get ready to click over to a website. Now, here is why you need to allocate budget for your website in 2026. If your website is not a closer, if your website is not high performing and high converting, meaning people, your potential clients, find valuable information in order to convert and give you contact information or schedule a call with you, then you can guarantee that your website is for sure going to be a platform that does not work as hard as you. In fact, it's probably going to be ignored. Because I want you to think about the way people use AI. In fact, I recently read an article that TMI recently did a research study of people that are declaring relationships with their AI engines. And so that may seem crazy and it may seem wild that people are naming their AI, they're declaring relationships. Some people are proposing and marrying their AI. And as radical as that may sound, here's kind of the root that I want you to really hone in on. AI allows for personalization that is unreal. Not only can someone look to their AI engine and begin doing the research about potentially the product or service that your business offers, it can also harness and understand everything about your potential client. So it doesn't feel or look like a Google search, which is very keyword based. So dentist near me or construction company near me that can build churches or schools. It knows so much about the person researching that when the person goes to it and says, hey, you know how much I am looking to find a family dentist that specializes in sedation because I hate the anxiety of drills and needles. And you know that I haven't gone to a dentist in over 2 years and need to get this scheduled and stop putting it off. How can I lower my anxiety, and what dentists should I be going to that specialize in this? Do you see the amount of personalization that is happening here that people are getting used to every single day? Now, that personalization and that expectation of this back and forth human interaction, and yes, even though AI is not a human, it feels so much like a human interaction that when we shift to a boring, static, information only stock photo website that you haven't updated in the last 5 years, you better believe that that tolerance level of a bad website will be non-existent. They will go to your website after being recommended and click off of it. But here's the bigger thing. They may not even get your website recommended to them in the AI engine. Why? Not only is AI looking for those summaries and backend schema, AI is also looking that you're a trusted voice, right? It wants to bring trusted sources to the person researching. So if you've not done anything in regards to digital PR, if you haven't signed up for directories, if you haven't been a part of associations, if you haven't tried to be placed in local or national publications, then you are not considered a trusted voice, even my friend, even if you have been doing this for over 10, 15, 20 years, it doesn't matter if you don't have a digital footprint. If you, as the CEO and leader, have refused to do anything in the personal branding space, right? Maybe your in-person reputation is wonderful and everybody in your local community knows you because of all the things that you have done, but it's not represented on a digital standpoint. If your digital representation looks nothing like your in-person reputation, then that expansion that AI is looking for, right? It's looking to promote thought leadership. It's looking to promote voices that are adding to the industry conversation. If that isn't you and AI feels like that's not you, then you will not get recommended. So in 2026, as you consider your budget and where those marketing dollars need to go, I cannot recommend enough that it needs to be funneled into your anchor, which is your website at the very least. Then you can look into things like a digital PR campaign, and then possibly really looking at promoting your personal brand. So if you're really considering, okay, you know what? We haven't touched our website in years. We know that it's outdated. We know that it likely is not getting pulled into any AI answers because maybe you've already done some prompts into AI, and where you should be popping up, you're nowhere to be found. Then how much does an AI focused website that is focused on AI conversions, right, and showing up in AI answers, how much should you look to spend and budget for 2026? So let's go ahead and look at a movement maker standard package for a 2 million plus revenue business with 10 plus employees, service based, and you're really looking to show up in those AI answers. You can expect a website, just the website design and development, which is going to cover all of the high performing, high converting. So remember, we talked about going to a website. It's all about you. It's static. It's not modern. You don't have CTA buttons strategically where they need to go. Your navigation bar is crazy. Maybe it's way too complicated. We've had clients that before they knew it, they looked up and they had 30, 40, 50 pages linked on their navigation bar. So if that's you, website design and development is going to start at $10,000. That's just for the design on the front end. And then on the back end, making sure that all of your business platforms like Calendly or your CRM, anything that needs to talk to your website to take a contact and funnel them into your marketing ecosystem, that's going to start at $10,000. Now, the SEO, which is the foundation that is still necessary for all websites, plus the generative engine optimization, GEO, that package is now $4,000. So that's going to include all of your keyword research, making sure that all of the right hierarchy of titles are needed on the front end SEO optimization, along with the back end optimization, like your meta descriptions and your SEO title. But it's also going to include your schema markup, and we're going to help create those summaries and those FAQ sections that are easy to be pulled for AI engines to pull you into those answers. So for a smaller 2 million plus small business in the service-based industry, you can look at an investment of about $14,000 to $16,000 to get all of this done. Now, if you're a larger company, right, you're mid-size, I would put that into the category of more like $20,000 to $22,000. Now, that just increases mainly because of the intricacy and the complexity of your business and what your business needs. Now, we also work with enterprise level companies. And so these are companies that have hundreds of employees and make billions of dollars in revenue. You're looking at more of a $50,000 to $60,000 website investment that it's going to include design, development, SEO, GEO. But for these clients as well, they may want us to help come alongside of them and do some AI app development because we are learning that lead magnets, even the way people want to interact with lead magnets, gone are the days where people just want a regular PDF download or an infographic. They want something that's interactive. And so many of our bigger business clients want us to help them develop AI tools that are interactive and that can be embedded into their websites. So you now have a basis to bring to your strategic 2026 planning retreat. You can get amongst the other leaders. And as you do a SWOT analysis, I don't want you to downplay marketing in 2026. I want you to really look at what AI is doing and knowing that if you're going to be visible in any way, you need to make sure that your website, that anchor platform, needs to be visible and it needs to be GEO optimized. So if you have any further questions, or if you're actually curious as to where your website ranks for GEO and if AI can even read it, then I recommend you going to geo.movementmaker.pro today. And for free, you can run a GEO audit that will grade you in these three areas: your anchor, which is your website, your digital PR, which is credibility, and your expansion, which represents your personal branding and storytelling ability for your business. You can get all of that right now for free when you go to geo.movementmaker.pro. And if you'd like further results, like a 30, 60, 90-day plan, which would be excellent going into a 2026 strategic planning meeting, you can schedule an AI Authority strategy call with me, and we will go over your results together. And we'll also help you prioritize what needs to come first. Well, this is a crucial time for you to be asking these big questions. And I'm glad that you've tuned in to watch all of these, to take note, and to know that you can build your authority in the age of AI.